Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom,
And I am Mike.
and today we're cracking open a new bottle of Copper and Cask straight rye whiskey finished in rum, toasted oak, and sherry casks. See, bottle reader?
Told me I didn't need to.
You didn't need to. I already got it. Although you did a terrible job ripping that too. I'm going to give you a C+ for
I was
that.
right at the
All
dots.
I know it fell apart. So, all right, let's get into particular on this one. We've done a bunch of copper and cask, but we have yet to do a rye whiskey by these guys, and every one of the other ones have been phenomenal. So I'm kind of excited to try this. And this is Rye Week, and we're going to keep doing ryes until we actually find one we like.
It does seem to be Rye Week.
So-
He goes, "Oh, what do you want?"
I don't know.
Something better than what we just did yesterday.
I'm hoping. So I didn't realize it was a rye when I grabbed it. I just said, you said, let's do something good, and I've never had a bad one by these guys. So let's get into it. This one comes in at 6 years, and we got it. It is 121.2 proof. We got it for $56.99. This happens to be batch number 5. It was bottled in April of 2024. The distillery is in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, so MGP or Russian Squib, whatever you like to. And it's bottled by Latitude Beverages out of Rumford, Rhode Island. So. And again, we've done. Oh, that squirted so much it hit me in the eyeball. We've done a bunch of different copper and casks. In fact, you just commented on the one. One was actually finished in a coffee, which really brought a huge coffee presence. But we just haven't. I can honestly say I have never seen a rye anywhere around. But I'm super fan of the channel. Steve found one. I don't know if it was at his magical store. I'm gonna look in a minute.
Let's see. You suck at pouring, but this is a bad week for pouring.
I don't know. Mine's perfect. I guess by the second glass, I'm already falling apart.
Mine splashes inside every time.
I don't know. So we'll actually see if this one is one we like. Now, it is. It was an undisclosed mash bill, so I'm not really sure. But I know Ross and Squibb is usually known for the 95.5 rye. I do not know what's actually in here. It does not actually say. So,
well, you're getting more out of the nose already than
yesterday's. Well, there is.
It is 4 years younger, but way more improved.
I was going to say that there's not as much water going into this one as the.
Even the colors like day and night.
No, right. Well, it gets hot in Rhode Island. You know what I mean? The biggest little state in the union.
I'll be going there shortly.
Oh, is that we in? That's where you're going for vacation number 75 this year.
You sound like everybody I work with.
All right, let's try it. Drink.
So there's back to the whole rye, baby orgeat, numbness kicking in. I guess if the 10 years did anything to that other bottle, it made it pretty smooth. Between the 10 years and the water,
I was gonna say it's 90. It was only 90 proof. Night and day,
but it didn't.
There was a huge sugary presence on the front of this
I'll
one.
agree.
Though.
Yes,
as soon as you get that one, I got more of a cooling sensation than a mint, but you got to let it open up a little bit to do that. You know you're drinking 121.2 proof.
I agree.
It hangs on, and I agree. This one actually coated. It stayed on your tongue everywhere I switched it. Yeah. No, everywhere I switched it.
And there is a light oak end to this.
Agree.
I don't know. I'm not really getting the sherry, but I'm not a connoisseur of that either. I might have maybe one of.
I'm wondering
one of the old relatives maybe left one, and we tried to sample it one time. That's about the only time I ever. If I did, that'd be the only way I'd ever share.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever sampled the sherry.
We probably did it
on
once
its
and
own.
said, "We'll keep that one in the cabinet."
Last resort. Last resort on that one. I'm trying to get. Like, you can almost smell the oaky presence. I mean, there's a multitude of casks that it went into, but you can almost smell, like, the oaky presence on it. I don't know if I would be smart enough to say that it is finished because we are very bad at that category, but
it does have a sweet beginning to a very good orgeat effect, with then a drizzle outside my tongue of an oak. So
in the middle, when I'm rolling on my tongue, it starts changing into like that hint of a mint, not a strong mint, but like it's a hint of a mint. Like you can taste. It goes from that like that caramel. It's almost a fruity caramel in the front, and then as I roll it on my tongue, it changes and it goes kind of more from a cooling sensation to like a little hint of a mint, And then it does finish off with a nice little oaky presence at the end. I will say, though, for 121.2 proof, it's not hot in any way. I thought, like, being a higher rye, I don't know what the rye is. I shouldn't say that. But being a higher proof rye, I thought it might have been
Whose store
hot.
pick is this, do you know?
Why would it be a store pick?
I thought the stores pick these, no?
I don't think so.
No.
Unless they do. I don't think anybody, I don't think it's,
But
it's predetermined. Some do.
I was going to say,
like Yankee had the two of them. We only did one.
So did Luke's had
And
the
Luke's
coffee
had
one.
one,
So
yeah.
that's why I was just,
Oh.
why I thought that's what they did.
I think they do a little of both. You can pick it as a store pick, but I don't know. He's got it as mass. I want to say he found this at Burlington Wine and Spirits, but don't quote me on that one because he does grab a bunch of stuff up there for me. Like, I'm starting to get, I'm actually shocked you're not more into mint than a cooling sensation because I'm actually getting a hint of a mint on the nose. I didn't get it in the first part, but it's almost like an apricot mint.
Yep. I was going to go with your fruit
Yeah.
in the front, not so much a mint.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely does hang out when you switch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is quite, I'm sitting there spitting and drooling one because of the orgeat effect is there. So
as this is opening up in the glass, that's the fun part. That's why I know people say, why didn't you just wait? Because it was good, but I think that front apricot, nectarine, peach flavor is starting to come now. Like, I get it now on my tongue.
I'm more there. I'm not getting mint, really. And that usually stands out for me, so.
It's that, again, I like to call it a cooling sensation. You usually turn it into a mint. It's like if you brush your teeth with like this, like the Super Colgate. We're not sponsored, by the way, but that, like, the really strong one, and then you go and then breathe in, and you can still taste the mint on it.
But I get it. Yeah, that's my orgeat effect for me. But.
Right. So, but that's where it kind of does that. Right? As I'm rolling it on my tongue, you kind of get that sensation, and then it does finish with a nice little. I mean, this is a legitimate ride. If you go with the, it's a 6-year whiskey, $56. It fits under the $10 a year thing on there. They did not water it down. They left it at a legitimate proof. But I'm surprised because we don't have a lot of. We have some high proof whiskeys, but it's not rye whiskeys. I mean, it's not drinking. I thought it might be spicier. That's gonna keep doing that. That's not good.
With you on that, this has almost all the same attributes that we just did the other day with the Bernheim or Sunday. It has, which would throw me because that's a wheater. It's not rye, and it's close. This would actually be. It'd be tough to pick this out in that.
I think I'm getting enough rye flavors to me.
It might if we had it against something not a rye. You know what I mean?
Right,
then it might stand out, but
you
get that crackle, sparkle pretty good, and a couple of those did stand out in that land. But that was actually a fun day.
So
Kamala,
I'm A-A on this one. This one's very good to me. I like this one a lot.
I could be either one of them as well. I could, wherever you want to start, and then whatever we put it against.
You know what?
I think it's going to hold its own.
I actually like a straight A because if I'm trying to think back how many ryes we actually had this year, this is probably the best tasting rye we've drank so far this year. You know what I mean? Because
we haven't had what we had yesterday.
No, but no, and honestly, I like a straight A on this one. There's zero I don't like about it. I like the fruit in the front, got the cooling sensation, nice oaky finish, has a great proof, and it hangs. It just hangs.
I agree.
So, we finally found one where I can get off the rye whiskeys now. It'll be funny if we pull rye on Friday, but we'll have to see. Well, there you go. We can keep this one short and sweet, I guess. If there's any knock. There's not a huge, and it might come out after it opens up and it sits. I'm not getting like a huge amount of the finished. I can't discern. There's rum or there's sherry.
It's 3 different.
Yeah.
So it is. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a light sweetness in the beginning, but we can get that. Although maybe that's part of we should stop paying attention where that could be finished. But we're probably over for 10.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to do this. I got something beeping in the background, so I apologize if you guys can hear it. I'll try to edit it all out. But there you go. We'll keep this one short and sweet then. This is the Copper and Cask Straight Rye Whiskey, finished in a rum, toasted oak, and sherry cask. If you do see these, 100%, I say grab it, because if you do it, this is bringing, like, this is one of the better ryes we've done this year. It's bringing a nice
Honestly,
rye flavor.
if you see this whole insignia, no matter where you are, whether it's a store pick, whether it's just something they have out there, we have yet to find one that's. Yeah.
No, we've yet to have a bad one, and they're all at a good price. So
That's
there
the
you
other
go.
thing. They are
Yeah. So there you go.
60 and under typically.
That's our review. That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more.
Cheers.